Hey, thanks for coming back. I'm Donna.
And I'm Craig. And these are our adventures.
Got a lot going on this week.
Ton. This is a big week in many, many ways. So, on a personal side, I've decided to retire. So, as of Tuesday, I am officially retired, at least in phase one. We'll see how retirement fits with my lifestyle. Doing things like this, obviously, is a big part of keeping my mind busy and being able to share. This is an amazing thing, this whole process of creating. I don't know that we would be any good at RVing if it weren't for YouTube. So hopefully we get to share and you can learn from us and we continue to learn from you.
Pretty much everything from you guys.
So we're going to be sharing a whole bunch. We've got a big trip planned. This is a 1 month trip, about 24 days as it sits right now. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we put the plan together, what it took.
Right, this is our Western Loop trip, we're calling it. And we're leaving here from Dawsonville, Georgia, going through Tennessee all the way up to Rocky Mountain National Park, hitting Wyoming, doing Yellowstone, Grand Teton, coming back around to Moab, Utah, which has been on my bucket list since we wanted to RV. Coming around the loop to Mesa Verde. Where else?
We go into Albuquerque and then
Amarillo.
A stop in OKC. We've got harvest hosts along the way. As we planned our route, we'll talk a little bit about the tools that we use, but we're using harvest hosts. We're staying at 4 different harvest hosts for 1 night stays.
Right.
We've spoken to all of our hosts. They're great people. So we're really, really excited about stopping, seeing what they have to offer, whether it be their wineries or their alpacas.
Farm in Oklahoma.
It's so great, and just having a great time. So when we planned this trip, going all the way out through the Rocky Mountains, we started out basically with a map and paper. We printed out a map. We used a protractor. We tried to get equal lengths. And the idea there was to try and keep our time on the road between places at 6.5 hour
right.
max. If it's a little less, it's great. If it's a little longer, that's okay. When we used Google Maps to enter in our destinations, we realized that Google Maps has some limitations. It doesn't like as many stops as we're going to have in this trip.
Right.
So we had to split it up a couple different ways, but it gave us enough where we were able to go and make reservations, either Harvest Host or at some of the RV parks, about where we wanted to stay. We had our choices, so we had an A list of where we wanted to stay and then a B list of our backup locations, and we were able to, about a month in advance, get either A list or B list accommodations. We are traveling this entire trip with Lucy and Loki.
So you'll finally get to meet the pups?
They're going to give us the Lucy and Loki loves. So they're going to tell us the top 3 things, 5 things of any given location or trip, and maybe some of the things that we don't like for whatever reason. So in this trip, what we're going to show you right now is a little bit about the trip maps. We ended up using RV Wizards as a final check, and because of RV Wizards and how it differs from Google Maps, we had some time differences. There was one stop that looked like it was at least 9 hours, depending on a route.
We thought it was 8 hours, and it turned out to be like 9.5 hours.
Google calls it 7.5, and
I don't know.
Yeah.
We got a little nervous, so.
So we're going to stop in Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
And have a night there.
Which looks like a gorgeous resort.
And that will actually be on our 33rd anniversary, our son's 23rd birthday. I don't know if you want to test your anniversary with a 10-hour ride in a car with an RV in tow.
So we thought it was smart to break it up.
At least a 6-hour ride. That's a test for anybody.
What else we're going to be covering in this video is Craig getting better and better each trip with his Tetris abilities. He's going to show you really just how he's set up the truck with all the equipment we think we may or may not need. We know you certainly don't want to go anywhere and, oh man, I should have brought that. So he's going to show you that.
Hopefully I did a good job of minimizing.
I think you did. I think it gets better every time.
So I'll take you out to the driveway where we've got everything scattered. We're going to pick and choose some things that are going to fit in the truck and maybe some things that we'll leave behind. Because we have Harvest Host, we are bringing our inverter generator. It will power one of our air conditioners, so we're hoping that we don't run into 90-degree days.
And it looks like the evenings will be like in the 60s. I think we'll be okay.
That'll be interesting.
We hope.
But our maps here, both Google Maps and RV Wizards, are going to give us a good general guideline. And then if we have to adjust on the fly, we'll figure out how to do that. Also, because we have a little time and we have some one-night stays through this trip, Donna's prepping some great meals, and we're going to share with you how she's prepping those meals, how she's cooking, some recipes.
Cooking, yeah, correct.
This episode, we're going to show a little bit about Donna and her cooking.
And my spaghetti sauce.
Her world-famous spaghetti sauce, which everyone raves about, and it's pretty straightforward. You should be able to make it, duplicate it, and it's one of those things that you can take with you, freeze, reheat, and it just gets better and better, whether you're mixing it with meatballs, spaghetti.
I'm going to be making baked ziti for this particular trip.
Baked ziti
because,
is great too.
the one night, the places that we're staying for one night, I don't want to have to take the grills out every single time and pack them back in. So, I'd like to have as many meals as I can pre-made for like the Harvest Host and one-nighters. And then when we're out camping for 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, then we'll, bring out the grill and the Blackstone and s'mores.
Definitely s'mores.
This will be a s'more trip. Florida was not a s'more trip.
So these are our ventures for, and what are we all about? Why are we different? For me, I mentioned that I'm going into retirement this week. So we always talk about the 3 different phases of retirement. There are the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. We wanted to get started in our go-go years.
Yeah, we're still go-goers.
We've got, right, and facing COVID, facing a really weird dynamic in the world right now. It's a great time for us to break away from the workforce, to stay safe while we're traveling, to be in our own environment, to bring our things with us, including where we shower, where we bathe, our own toilet. All those things are very important to us, but we still want to be able to see the world. I spent a whole career traveling the world, and now I want to bring Donna along with us as we really both enjoy the places and the stops that we want to spend some time.
Without having to rush or get on a plane or be back, we can just go and explore and do our thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We're excited. So if this appeals to you and you want to learn more, see more recipes, or if there's things that you would like to hear from us, please comment in the YouTube section below. We hope that you liked the video and you physically press that like button. And if more videos are appealing to you, that you subscribe. I haven't figured out how to do the subscribe link that automatically does it and sends you to the subscribed section. But if you can figure that out and this adds value, then please subscribe. And
please leave a comment also. We'd love to hear just some feedback on what you like.
Yeah, and if you have recipes you want to share for us in either prep or out on the road, we'd love to hear those too.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
Yes, we've learned everything from YouTube to date. Our own personal experiences are just coming in, right? And we really just want to get back. So that's it. So I'm Craig.
I'm Donna.
These are our ventures.
See you on the road.
See you in the truck in a minute. All right. So here we are, getting ready for a trip that should last us a minimum of 22 days if everything goes properly. If we see something great, it might go longer, so I always plan to go a little longer. Better to have it and not need it. There's always the wallet, but you never really want to count on spending out on the road, usually much more expensive. So the idea here really is to gather all the things that you think you're going to need and then see what fits and pare it down to what's reasonable or minimal. All right, so through the magic of video editing, we have everything packed up neatly in the bed of the truck. I think we're in pretty good shape. It's amazing how all that fits if you stack it the right way. It's a little bit of a puzzle piece, but we're all set to go. That tonneau cover will close and lock, and maybe we'll have time to do a little short on mounting the bikes on top. But we're good to go. So I think right now we're gonna go and check in on Miss Donna and see what's going on from a food prep perspective. Hey, there's Loki. Loki, you ready for the trip? Good boy. Where's Lucy? All right.
Hey.
There you are.
Hey, what are you cooking today, Don?
So what we're doing today is I'm prepping meals for our stops that we're gonna really just be there for one night, that I don't have to whip out the grill out of the truck every time we stop. So I'm probably gonna make my sauce for some baked ziti. And it's a recipe that I've been using for a long, long time, but it's simple. Onions, garlic, I have my fresh basil from the garden, oregano, chili, crushed pepper, crushed tomatoes, regular tomato sauce, and some paste.
Upside down paste, nevertheless.
Well, because it wouldn't let me open it from the other side, it kept flipping, so I...
If the sauce tastes upside down, we know why.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to start by finely dicing my tomatoes. My kids never liked chunky tomato sauce, so when they were little, I used to put it in a blender. Now, I just dice it finely and nobody cares. We all have methods to our madness of how we chop onions. This is my method. I cut them in like 3 thin slices and stack them. It makes it easier for me to chop them finely without chopping my fingers off. All right, now we're mincing some garlic here. I like fresh garlic better than garlic powder, but you could certainly use garlic powder if you don't have any fresh garlic. We already have our onions chopped in the pot. I'm going to scabooch the garlic in here.
Is that a technical word, scavooch?
It's my word, and I'm going to use it. All right. We're going to start off with a medium heat, and then we're going to get it to low. Can you smell it? The whole kitchen smells wonderful. So while the veggies are getting soft, I want to show you how I like to do my fresh basil. I like to get a couple leaves at a time and roll them up like a cigar. I have this little handy dandy tool. It's called an ulu knife. My son won it for me on our Alaskan cruise. Don't ask. So after it's rolled up like a cigar, I'm just going to take it and rock it back and forth. It just makes it easier and safer to chop without taking a finger. Our onions and garlic are nice and soft. Next step is the tomato paste. I've got whatever the smallest can is of paste. I'm going to add that in, and then 1 can of water. You can see that it's all getting all bubbly, thickens up. I'm going to turn the heat back down. In goes my crushed. In goes my sauce. I'm going to add my oregano. It's just me. I don't like fresh oregano. It's too floury. Some people may like it. Either way, I use about a tablespoon of dried. Fresh red pepper. You can do it as hot as you like it. Now I'm going to get my fresh basil. Sea salt, kosher salt. And that's it. Fold that in. I'm going to put a lid on it. Go about my day. All right, Craig, what time is it?
Time to go get Dorothy.
Here we go now.
Here we go. That may be stealing. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, here we are.
All right, we're gonna go pick up Dorothy. Got a couple more things to put inside. We got the stabilizer bar to put on. We're gonna make sure that we're kind of packed and condensed. And then we're gonna get out of here and bring her back home for the final food pack up.
We do need to stop and get propane, though.
We're gonna get propane.
Propane and propane accessories.
We are. I've got these funky looking gloves on. These are cut-proof gloves. So what I figured out is that the RV, the Airstream in the back, is full of places that are full of danger. And the last day when we go pack things up and put them in tight and wrestling with 50 amp power cords, it's a great way to slice up your hands. So these are actually cut-proof gloves. People use them for cooking, handling knives. So I'm hoping that this time I don't cut the ends of my fingertips off. They're kind of important. Everything from dialing a phone to typing in a computer, a trackball, to playing guitar. So highly advisable cut-proof gloves for the back. I'll show you kind of where they like to slice your finger up.
Ah, our second home.
They're not good for touchscreen.
No.
We're live.
All right.
We're live with Dorothy. Come on in. So we're mostly packed up. All that clothes, all those shoes, they all fit rather nicely.
Yeah, the only thing we got to do when we get home is get the food packed, really. That's about it. And us. All right, we're here at Tractor Supply with Bill, our friend, getting us hooked up with some propane.
We ran
Propane
one
accessories.
tank dry.
One tank dry.
So Bill, you had stories about.
Oh yes, this was my grandparents had Airstream growing up, and this was many summers were spent here on the in the Airstreams, and it's always been a dream to own one day.
There you go.
He said his Airstream had a bathtub and his brother slept in it. I would like to see a picture of that.
Yes, maybe someday we'll get a picture of that.
But yeah,
There's Jace. Jason, what's going on, man?
Good, how about you?
We're doing great.
we're
just-
on YouTube, Jason.
Thanks for hooking us
I got my own
up.
YouTube channel. I love it.
Yeah, we learned everything we did about RVing on YouTube, so we're just trying to give back a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
I love it's a fun life.
Cool.
I can't wait to really expand on mine.
Well, Bill, you and Tractor Supply have been awesome.
Thank you.
We appreciate the help with our tank.
We'll see you next time we're empty.
Sounds good. Y'all be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get this lid back on.
You got it.